I think we can all agree that blasters are way too abundant in the Star Wars universe. Wouldn't it be easier if everyone just used the Force? Can't we just exterminate all of the shooters? They deserve it, don't they? Anyway, some of you may be aware that I've made another no-shooting video covering story mode, but I've gotten many comments suggesting the use of extras or free play. So, without further ado, can you 100% complete Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga without shooting? I won't waste your time with the rules at the moment, because I'll explain as I go. The main rule I do want to share is that I'm defining a shot as a beam of plasma. You know, the traditional blaster shot. I'm also going to count Wicked's slingshot and this catapult, but they're the only outliers. Now, for this run, I'm only going to be covering everything after story mode. So, because of that, I have studs just from a normal playthrough. So the first thing I'm going to do is buy some of these gold bricks from the shop, because I can't be starting this challenge off with 200,000 studs. That'd be way too easy. Right here are 14 easy gold bricks for the taking. I can't buy all of them just yet, but that doesn't really matter. Here we are at episode 1, which wasn't anything special. I breezed through levels 1 and 2 getting all of the collectibles along the way. Don't worry about me not going in depth about the collectibles because this isn't really a walkthrough. I'm only going to showcase the times, if any, shots are required. Also, to 100% complete a level in free play, you must collect 10 mini-kits, collect a certain amount of studs for True Jedi, and collect 1 red brick. Red bricks are cool because if you don't know, red bricks, aka extras, give you certain cheats that make the game easier. One of my rules for this run is to not use cheat codes, which allow you to unlock extras for free, basically. Throughout this run, there are a few useful red bricks. I'll tell you when I get them, but these specific ones will be very important later in this run. Moving on. Level 3 presented the first hurdle in this run. The start of the level is just fine, traversing through Theed Palace while wrecking the place. This part is what scared me. I initially wasn't sure about how to bypass a target, but after some thinking, I came up with an idea. There are 2 ways I can pass this target, with one of the important red bricks I talked about earlier, or with a bounty hunter character. I don't want to jump between levels and skip that much, so I'll go with a bounty hunter for now. I ran back to the cantina, bought a bounty hunter character, and threw a bomb at the target, which, fortunately, allowed me to progress. The rest of episode 1 was not challenging in the slightest. Level 4 is the pod race, and levels 5 and 6 can both be 100% completed without shooting a single time. On to episode 2 with level 1. The level looked fine, but there weren't many ways I could avoid shooting. I spent a while pondering what to do, and I came to the conclusion that I'll need some of those cool extras to minimize shooting, so I think I'll skip this level for now and come back later with a couple of upgrades. Moving on to level 2, which was fairly simple. There are a couple of minor hiccups that are nothing a bounty hunter can't fix. This is great since all targets can be hit by bounty hunter bombs, so any minikit requiring targets are now complete. Level 3 is pretty much the same. No shooting is required to get the collectibles because I have Jedi and bounty hunters. Level 4 is, level 4. It's just the Geonosian battle, which involved everything but shooting. Yay me, I guess. Level 5 is Gunship Cavalry, which initially worried me, but after immense trial and error, talking about you lasers, I made it to the control ship using only the bombs the level provided me. This part could also be done with just bombs to destroy the lasers and generators. Level 6 doesn't involve shooting in any way. This is great since all targets can be hit by bounty hunter bombs. But the one time targets actually want to do what they're made for. Nothing will hit these targets except shots. I tried everything, growing angrier and angrier that nothing else was working. Add 2 to the counter then. My gosh, that concludes episode 2 then. Episode 3, the last of the prequels. Level 1 is the only level that required shooting because it is a scrolling level that required 9 shots just to progress. But, since I get everything before the last hangar, I can just save and exit level, which saves me those last 2 shots. The rest of the episode is actually quite peaceful with no shooting. I stole an abundance of collectibles from hostile droids, stalked Grievous at his hideout and took his things. I then killed him, put him to sleep forever. I marched through the enemy waters of Kashyyyk while picking up collectibles on the way, and raided the Jedi Temple. See? It was very peaceful. Like a vacation. Also, level 5 is where I get one of the important red bricks. Deflect blaster bolts. That will come in later. Level 6 also did not require any shooting, considering it's basically just a big lightsaber fight. Now, Onto the originals. They are the more challenging of the bunch due to the lack of lightsaber characters, but luckily, I'm on free play. This allowed me to get all the collectibles throughout the first few levels in episode 4 with ease. The only setback was a Womp Rat area in level 4-3 that required shooting, but I figured out that if one player just sat in the gunner seat, the Womp Rats would start running, which allowed player 2 to just kill them. An important note is that these barriers can be destroyed with bombs, so they're not going to be a problem with bounty hunter characters. The 2 Death Star levels are also quite easy with force abilities. Here's another red brick in level 4-5, which is invincibility. It's not one of the super important ones I was talking about earlier, but it will definitely make the game way less annoying. Level 6 was the problem child of these few levels. I was worried about these turnstiles for mini-kits, but using deflect blaster bolts I got in an earlier level, I could deflect the bolts at the turnstile to turn it, and then destroy the mini-kit with the same extra as well. It also worked for these 2 turnstiles here. Things went smooth sailing until I ran into these blue walls. There wasn't much I could try besides deflect bolts, and sadly, I had not been able to destroy them, so I'll have to count a shot to break it, squeeze the pod racer through here, and another shot for the mini-kit. This also applies to this wall. Besides that, this level was not that bad. I also want to say that this mini-kit right here also required a shot because no TIE fighters wanted to come over into this area. Episode 5, Empire. Level 1 went well because the only shot that is required is for this mini-kit in this room because there's really nothing I can do and bombs didn't work. The rest of the collectibles are easy enough. The red brick in this level is also one of the important ones I mentioned, self-destruct. It may not seem useful now, but trust me, it will come in handy. I better not hear anyone diss on this red brick. You'll see why this one is important. Anyway, level 2 was possible and the rest of level 3 was fine, getting out of the first bit with deflections and getting crap throughout the asteroid field. There was a mini-kit inside this worm which couldn't be destroyed with torpedoes, so it took 2 shots to destroy it. It also took another 4 shots to open up the worm's mouth so I could escape. The rest of the episode's collectibles were all easy enough to get without shots. Here's the final episode of free play, which initially had me worried, but I ended up having a lot of fun playing through it. I managed to get through the first couple of levels without shooting, but here comes level 3. I was concerned about the speeder sections, initially timing these explosions to hit the speeders, but I did this dropout trick to enter these other sections prematurely. Playing through the level normally, you would have to defeat all the speeders to get to the next section, but I cheesed my way through and walked around without any consequences. First, the mini-kits in the speeder section were all easy, then all the mini-kits throughout the rest of the level were easy as well. I could do the dropout trick to hop over this fence, but I can also use self-destruct on these targets to blow them up. For some reason, bounty hunters do not work, which is why I called the self-destruct red brick important. The area in front of the AT-AT is easy. I just got this last mini-kit and red brick, and this level is completed without firing a single shot. The next couple of levels were nothing to worry about collectible-wise. The final level, however, was tricky. I used deflection to kill these TIE fighters for torpedoes to finish this section, after getting collectibles of course. Then I progressed through the level as normal, getting mini-kits along the way. This area in the core of the second Death Star was tough, but I deflected bolts back at the zappers to destroy them, and at the core's carapace to hit it with a torpedo. I made it back outside of the Death Star getting the last few mini-kits on the way, and that is all of episode 6 completed without shooting a single shot. Honestly, that surprised me a little bit. Also, the red brick in this level was the last really important one, which is infinite torpedoes. It would have come in handy on this last level due to the start of it, but I digress. Now we have one more level, level 2-1. Throughout this level, there were many mini-kits that required objects being destroyed which could be handled with torpedoes. There are also a couple mini-kits hiding behind TIE fighter doors which were also very easy. The only mini-kits to have required any shooting were in this first laser section, because the torpedoes could not shoot far enough for me to deflect them at these pieces of debris, which is 3 more shots to the counter. Then, there was this red brick which required 9 shots. It might be possible to do with fewer shots, opting for firing torpedoes at these things instead, but this collectible is already hard enough. Then there were these 3 signs which took 2 shots each to turn green for a mini-kit. I also tried torpedoes, but they didn't work. Finally, in this last laser section, these 4 pieces of debris needed to be shot for the same reason as the first laser section. That ends level 2-1 with 22 shots. You know, when I was younger, I played this game on the Wii a lot. In challenge mode, there were only 10 minutes, so I hated my life trying to 100% the game. On PC, however, you get double the time. Therefore, it's more fun. Isn't it funny how that works? Anyways, challenge mode was largely free of any shooting, surprisingly. That's probably due to all the challenge mini-kits being out in the open instead of requiring any puzzle solving. The first 2 episodes didn't require a single shot, while episode 3 only required 7 shots. All 7 of which were in the first level. I actually figured out that using the droid Tri-Fighter, I could do this part with 2 fewer shots. Episode 4 also, fortunately, did not require any shots either. Episode 5 is almost free from shooting due to level 5-3. Is this a good time to mention you cannot use extras in challenge mode? Because of that, using a specific vehicle, all 16 of these turrets could go down in 2 shots each, totaling to 32 shots, compared to the Millennium Falcon, which takes 4 shots each. The rest of the asteroid field could be skipped, doing this skip here, and then the same skip here to get into the asteroid for any challenge kits, and the same skip again to continue on. Don't forget to break the game as well, that is very important. The last couple of challenge kits were in this section, which automatically ended the level. The rest of the episode is thankfully possible. Here's the last episode in challenge mode. I cannot believe I managed to fit all of challenge mode in a few paragraphs for nearly 5 hours of recording. Levels 1 through 5 were all done without shooting. Levels 1 and 2 weren't special. Even though I can't use extras, I can still use whatever characters I want. Level 3 was done in a similar manner as free play, except I got the challenge kits through the speeder section, used the dropout trick to manually check out each area, and instead of blowing up the targets, which mind you does not work with bounty hunters, I can use the dropout trick to get a player over the main electric fence and into the last section. There, I got the last challenge kit. Levels 4 and 5 were also no biggie, largely due to the free play character mechanic. Level 6, however, was a really big issue due to the lack of extras. Using specific ships, I destroyed TIE fighters with 2 shots each, and destroyed all the torpedo targets. There were 8 targets, and 8 TIE fighters, which meant 16 shots in this section. The Death Star was fine until I arrived at the core. Fortunately, I figured out that these stupid electric taser guys can be killed with torpedoes, so that's very nice. I loved blowing them up because they are so annoying. The core shield, unfortunately, cannot be destroyed the same way, so that required a shot. Then I exploded the core and got the heck out of there while collecting the last few challenge kits. That concludes all of challenge mode. This is actually going quicker than I thought. Taking a break from the main levels, let's do the bonus levels. Each episode has a character and a mini-kit bonus level, which will reward a gold brick if 1 million studs are collected in under 5 minutes. Keeping things concise, all 6 of the character levels required no shooting, because I just went around destroying stuff for the studs. Also, every mini-kit level besides episodes 1 and 3 required no shooting, because enough studs can be gotten through torpedoes and purple studs. Let's take a look at episode 1. There just were not many opportunities for major stud grabbage. I used torpedoes and tractor beam extra to my advantage, but it was still not fast enough. To go a little quicker, I needed a handful of shots, and after a few attempts, I believe the fewest amount of shots I could use to still complete the level in under 5 minutes is 16. I would be glad to know if anyone can do it with fewer shots, but that was the best I could do, so that is what I'm going to count. Because of that, the shot counter may not be 100% accurate objectively, but it is according to my run. Episode 3's mini-kit level is similar in that it is impossible to do in 5 minutes without shooting. Similar to episode 1, the best I could do is 32 shots. Now that seems like a lot, but I still finished with seconds to spare. See, it says right there. Now here's the bonus levels in the main hub. I thought these levels were actually pretty fun because there are things like the OG pod race level from Lego Starwars the video game, the OG gunship cavalry, a unique Anakin mission, a Darth Vader New Hope level, and 2 levels where you have to get a million studs by destroying everything. And thank goodness these don't have time limits. Almost every level can be done without shooting. Anakin's big flight initially worried me, but extras were available, so I just turned on infinite torpedoes. Within the separatist ship, I thought these red targets would require shots, but hitting them at the right place, which is very tedious, with torpedoes, destroyed them. I then used deflect blaster bolts to destroy these shield core thingies, which totaled this level to 0 shots. Oopsie. That means OG gunship cavalry was the only outlier. What a freaking weirdo. It is a side-scroller and it did not have any bombs, unlike the modern version. So shooting was the only way to go. There's really no way to cheese the level, so 2 shots were required here and here. 1 shot for every laser, so 8 more shots. I also figured out that shooting in the right place will take out 2 generators and then a final shot to take the 3rd one out. That is 2 shots per generator area for a total of 8 more shots. That totaled up to 20 shots for the level. One of the last things to do are the bounty hunter missions. They all lasted 10 seconds or less, and none of them required a single shot. So that's another easy 20 gold bricks for me. I did go back through some of the levels to get full stud count with stud multipliers, so none of those took any shots. I'm almost done now. What could I be missing? Wait a second. I almost forgot about Super Story. You want to know what is stupid about these levels? They are just the full episode that you have to do in under an hour, or you have to collect 100,000 studs or more to complete. Another thing is that you don't even get any gold bricks. This just increases the overall percentage. These levels are so dumb. Can you believe that in order to 100% complete the game, you have to play through all 36 levels 4 times? Can you tell I'm frustrated at this point? Anyway, frustration aside, Episode 1 was mostly easy to go through. Levels 1 and 2 were Jedi oriented, and level 3 required 8 shots. 2 just to get up to the top of the building, 1 at this window, and 5 for all of these targets. Yes, I did try to get the droids to shoot the window and targets, but it never worked for me. I won't waste your time with the rest. Level 4 is the pod race, and level 5 and 6 are Jedi based. Episode 2. 10 and level 1, all for the Zam Wessel fight. I tried to hit her with torpedoes, but it never worked. Level 2 only had Obi-Wan and R4. Level 3 required 3 shots, 2 for these targets and 1 to destroy this object. Level 4 could be done only as Mace. Level 5 was done only using bombs, and level 6 was just Jedi again. The first level of Episode 3 required 11 shots just to go through the level as normal, and level 3 required a single shot for this bomb because I cannot get up there at all. All of the other bombs can be glitched through by jumping close to them. I also learned it works for this bomb as well, contrary to my previous video going through story mode. All of the other levels were shot-free. Episode 4 level 1 only required 5 shots here to suffocate Mufasa. Level 2 was clear, and level 3 had a couple of tricks to avoid shooting. Glitch Ben through this wall to skip the ATST, 4 shots to get the droids through, and chase Yarndan down this alley to just barely squeeze through the door to skip blowing up this box. Hit the dude back with a power-up to avoid shooting it, and the rest of the level was clean. Level 4 required 8 shots, 7 to protect Old Ben from the Death Star employees, and 1 to blow up this barricade. Level 5 required 4 shots, 3 in this final corridor, and 1 to blow up this Death Star to meet the troop of stormtroopers. Wait a sec. And 1 to blow up this door to meet the troop of stormtroopers. Level 6 had 12 shots, all in the final area to destroy all of the turrets, cause, say it with me, torpedoes did not work. Episode 5 level 1 was surprisingly shot-free. I just used these bombs in the last section to kill everyone. Sorry, I meant unalive everyone. Level 2 had a total of 22 shots, 3 to destroy this gunner, the gate, and 3 for these 3 canisters in the way. I used a power-up to destroy these gunners and push C-3PO up. Then there's 3 shots to destroy this gate. 3 shots for these 3 canisters on the buttons, and I could use a power-up to destroy a bunch of this crap, including the gunners. There are 3 shots per generator, and the rest of the level was good from there. For level 3, I just utilized the X-Wing because it could destroy these 16 turrets in 2 shots each, compared to the Millennium Falcon's 4. Then, optimally, 2 shots were required on 2 different asteroids to get 3 torpedoes each, to destroy this blockage and have 2 left over, but those last 2 aren't necessary. I could actually skip this whole next section by glitching through the wall here and out of the other side, similar to what I did in free play and challenge mode. The last section required 2 shots, optimally, for 6 total torpedoes to destroy this whale of an asteroid to complete the level. That added up to 36 total shots for the level. Level 4 was a cakewalk, and level 5 only required 3 shots on this door. Level 6 was actually shot-free. This gate can be shot by a power-up deflection. I then kicked Boma in his Fetsicles, and then I did this door skip to avoid saving C-3PO. In this outside section, I scaled the wall like normal, and glitched R2 through the wall like so. Then the rest of the level was a breeze. Level 6 one only required 12 shots at the very start on these angry door guys. Level 2 required 7 shots, 5 to get past his barrier, and 2 to blow up Jabba's barge. Level 3 could largely be skipped due to this amazing speeder skip, and then 4 shots are required with the AT-AT. Level 4 thankfully didn't have too many shots. I flew past this 3PO panel with R2 and down into this section which required 2 shots to move this battery. Down in this area, I jumped up here with Han and pulled this lever. Then, I shot this twice to build a 3PO panel. In this area, 5 shots are required with the catapult, and then I hit the ATSC twice with the catapult because I found out it actually does more damage than shooting normally, which saved me 3 shots. Then, 5 more shots on this barricade, and I could do this glitch with Shui that would get me into the Imperial base without shooting on top, and it skipped the rest of the previous section. Nice. Inside the base required 3 shots to open each of the 3 doors, which is a total of 9 shots. The only room to require any shooting was the left one to reveal these 2 buttons and this battery. Then I pulled the rest of the levers, built the bombs, and finished the level with a total of 28 shots. To be honest, I was expecting worse. Level 5 was just the black guy and the Joker, and level 6 required 16 in the beginning to destroy 8 TIE fighters for 8 torpedoes to hit 8 targets using the X-Wing. Then, within the Death Star, I used torpedoes to destroy the zappers, and 1 shot for the core followed by a torpedo. I flew for my life and finished the level with 17 shots. After buying the rest of the crap I can get, and getting Indy of course, that finally concludes this run with a total of 364 shots. To recap, Free Play had a total of 45 shots, Challenge Mode had 56, all 18 bonus levels, Super Story, Character Bonus, and Minikit Bonus from all of the episodes had a total of 243, the 6 bonus levels in the hub had 20 shots, and the Bounty Hunter missions had 0. Now, this video was meant to showcase everything after an initial run of Story Mode, but since Super Story is similar to Story Mode, the total number of shots including Story Mode to 100% complete the game should be at most 559 individual shots. That may be a little high because I did not account for any tricks you can do in Story Mode with extras that you can't do in Super Story. Even so, that's a lot more than I originally anticipated. And with that, ends this rendition of my no shooting challenge. This is basically a sequel to my last no shooting challenge, except it was refined a little bit, which was evident in my Super Story segment. Of course, the aforementioned Super Story segment had the most shots, totaling up to 195 shots. Thanks so much for spending your time watching today's challenge. It really means a lot to me. I can't believe I have made over 700 subscribers. That is a huge achievement for me, which I highly appreciate. If you liked this video and want to see more like it, please consider liking and subscribing because that would be greatly appreciated. Don't forget to share this video with your family and friends, and as always, see you later and have a great day.